Today we're going to talk about polynomials, and we're going to start by defining some terms. A monomial is a number, a variable, or a product of numbers and variables with whole number operations. Okay, so we are going to be seeing some examples in just a few moments. The degree of a monomial is the sum of the exponents of the variables. Now, here we have, in this next section, several monomials. You notice these are the product of numbers and variables. So let's say we want to find the degree of each monomial here. All we're going to do is add together the exponents. So for instance, 4 plus 3. We're adding together the exponents on the variables, so we get a degree of 7 for this monomial. 7ED. Even though the exponents are not written in, they each have exponents of 1 on the E and the D, so we add them together, 1 plus 1, we get 2, and so this monomial has degree 2. Notice on the third example, the number 3, there are no variables, and so this has degree 0. A constant or just a number has degree 0. A polynomial. It's a monomial or the sum or difference of monomials. So we're talking about something that might look like 5x squared plus 7x minus 2. So these are monomials that are added or subtracted. The degree of a polynomial is the degree of the term with the greatest degree. So let's take a look at what we mean by that. We're going to look at the degree of each term here. We have 11x to the 7th plus 3x to the 3rd. The degree of 11x to the 7th is 7. The degree of 3x to the 3rd is 3. Pick the higher of the two, and that would be 7. So this polynomial has degree 7. Now, this next example, 1/3 w squared z plus 1/2 z to the 4th minus 5. Now remember, if we don't have an exponent listed on a variable, it would be a 1. So our first term, we add together the exponents on the variables, so we have 3. There's only one exponent in the next, or one variable in the next term, so it's just going to be the exponent on that one variable of 4. Again, a constant, a number, has degree 0. Pick the highest of all of those numbers, 3, 4, and 0, and the answer is 4. So this polynomial has degree 4. Let's go on to our next page. The standard form of a polynomial is written with the terms in order from greatest degree to least degree. And when written in standard form, the coefficient of the first term is called the leading coefficient. So let's write each polynomial in standard form. Then give the leading coefficient. So we want to write these from highest degree to lowest degree. Well, the 5th degree is present here in this term, negative 7x to the 5th. So it's highest exponent to lowest exponent. Well, the next highest exponent would be on the 4x squared, so write plus 4x squared. Remember, this 6x really is like 6x to the 1st, so that's the next highest one. And then our constant of plus 9 goes on the end. So this is written from highest degree or highest exponent down to the lowest exponent, highest degree to lowest degree. And the leading coefficient, I'm going to call that LC. The leading coefficient, the first number in front of the variable in front of a variable, first number of our term, let's say, that's what we mean when we say leading coefficient, is negative 7, and that's when it's written in standard form. Let's do this next one. Y to the 2nd plus y to the 6th minus 3y. Written in standard form, highest exponent would be on y to the 6th. Second highest exponent's on y to the 2nd. And then we're left with minus 3y. If you want to know what the leading coefficient is, really this would be a 1 here. So the leading coefficient is 1. How this whole thing leads off. We have special names for polynomials of different degrees. If a polynomial has degree 0, it's called a constant. If it's degree 1, it's linear. Degree 2 is quadratic. Degree 3 is cubic. Degree 4 is quartic. Degree 5 is quintic. And if it has degree 6 or more, we use 6th degree, 7th degree, and so on. There are no other special names. Moving on to our next page, we can classify polynomials according to the number of terms that they have. If a polynomial has one term, it's called a monomial. 2 terms is a binomial. 3 terms is a trinomial. And if it has 4 or more terms, it is a polynomial. So we want to classify each polynomial according to its degree and number of terms. Okay, so this first one has, we can see the highest exponent is a 3, or the degree of the highest degree of all of the terms is 3. So we can say that is cubic. And there are 2 terms, so we will say it is a binomial. Look back at your lists to see where these terms are coming from. This next one, 4y to the 6th minus 5y to the 3rd plus 2y minus 9. The degree of this polynomial is 6, so we're going to say it is 6th degree. And it has 4 terms, and looking back at our chart up here, with 4 or more terms, it is called a polynomial. So we'll say 6th degree polynomial. Lastly, in example 3, negative 2x. That's just one term, so we know it's a monomial. And the highest exponent here is 1. You can imagine that being written in. And if the highest exponent is 1, looking back at your chart on your previous page, you will see that is linear. So we have a linear monomial. Now, next problem. A tourist accidentally drops her lip balm off the Golden Gate Bridge. The bridge is 220 feet from the water of the bay. The height of the lip balm is given by the polynomial negative 16t squared plus 220, where t is the time in seconds. How far above the water will the lip balm be after 3 seconds? And so basically we are being told that t is 3, and we're being asked to substitute it into this polynomial. So we're going to say negative 16 times 3 squared plus 220. Well, 3 squared gives us 9. So we have negative 16 times 9 plus 220. So that gives us negative 144 plus 220, which gives us 76 feet. Okay, so after 3 seconds, the lip balm will be 76 feet above the water. That is all for today, and thank you for joining me.